The day I got fired, I went home to my grandma's and learned how to play gin rummy. Meanwhile, my entire family was tearing the city apart looking for me. Why? Because my sister, the family's golden child and a so-called genius jewelry designer, hadn't been able to sketch a single decent design since I'd left. In my last life, it all came crashing down at the National Jewelry Design Competition. Somehow, my sister, Sophie, always managed to debut designs that were identical to mine, just a heartbeat before I could. Everyone assumed I was the copycat. My own family stood up and testified against me. The company I worked for, citing moral turpitude and damage to their reputation, fired me on the spot and slapped me with a lawsuit for a staggering amount in damages. My family, seeing me as nothing but a liability, threw me out. Crushed by the weight of it all, the public shaming, the loss of my family, I fell into a deep depression. I was killed in a hit and run, struck by a car driven by one of my sister's obsessed fans. Even as my consciousness faded, the question haunted me. How did Sophie always know? How did she always manage to create my exact designs just one step ahead of me? Then, I opened my eyes. I was back. The day before the National Jewelry Design Competition. Sadie, you feeling confident about the competition? The chatter in the office pulled me back from the dizzying vortex of memory. I looked around, my heart hammering against my ribs. It was real. I was back. Are you kidding? Sadie snagged the Designer of the Year award 3 times running, a colleague, Maria, said, giving me a playful nudge. She's got this in the bag. I managed a weak smile, unable to form words, because only I knew what was coming. In my last life, I submitted a design I had poured my soul into for days. On stage in front of everyone, I was branded a fraud. They displayed 2 sketches on the main screen. They were identical, down to the last delicate line of filigree on the setting. But the timestamp on the other submission was a full day before mine. And the artist? My dear sister, Sophie Walker. She stood in the audience, her eyes wide and red-rimmed, staring at me with a look of shattered betrayal. She brought a microphone to her lips, her voice trembling as it echoed through the auditorium. Sadie, how could you? If you were blocked, I would have helped you find inspiration. But to steal my work? Why? I was frozen. That was my design. It had lived on my encrypted laptop, unseen by any other human eye. Before I could even begin to explain, the crowd erupted. Get the plagiarist off the stage. The nerve of her, showing up with a stolen design. She doesn't deserve to be a designer. Fraud. I grabbed a microphone to defend myself, but my voice was drowned out by the jeers. A few scattered voices of support were quickly silenced when my own parents took the stage. They held up photos of Sophie, supposedly working through the night at her drafting table at home. They spoke of their profound regret, of how they were ashamed to have a daughter like me, and announced their intention to sever all ties. After that, it was over. No one believed me. Security escorted me out of the building. The moment I turned on my phone, it was a firestorm of hatred. Back at my apartment, I checked my laptop. No viruses, no spyware, no remote access logs. The computer and my physical sketchbooks had been with me at all times. There was no conceivable way the design could have leaked. But Sophie's was identical. Every idea, every spark of inspiration, every line I drew, it was all mine. I could not have copied her. It was impossible. Hey, Sadie, Maria's voice cut through my thoughts again. I heard your sister is competing this year too. Any friendly family rivalry? Who do you think will take home the top prize? Not long after I'd started at this firm, Sophie, by some mysterious coincidence, had gotten hired too. The mention of her name sent a jolt of pure terror through me. My fists clenched so tightly my nails dug into my palms, drawing blood.